Welcome back, Patriots. Welcome back to Sons of Liberty 1773. Boy, do I have the goods on the globalist and the Klaus Schwabs of the world and what they want to do, and it's pretty disturbing. And thankfully, it's all in this neat little package called The Great Reset and the War for the World, which I just finished, by the way, yesterday. Incredible book. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to leave the link for this book in the as a pinned comment on this video. Alex Jones knows more about the globalists probably than anybody, and their plan for humanity is absolutely terrifying. In a nutshell, they want to control everything, and when I say everything, I mean everything you do, everything you own, what you can have, what you can't have, where you can spend your money, where you can't spend your money. I mean, everything is going to turn into a tracking device for your life. These are ready, right? The cars, all automobiles going forward are gonna track you. Everything is going to be a tracking device. You know, your smart TVs, all that, because it's all part of global control. But eventually, they want to phase out the carbon-based life forms, namely us. We're the carbon they want to get rid of for a hybrid that they believe they're going to build. That, you know, we're going through a metamorphosis, humanity, from the caterpillar to the butterfly, and they're playing God, and they actually think they're going to be God. I found one guy because he mentions this guy a lot, and Alex has read all their books, folks. Klaus Schwab and all these globalists. He reads everything they write. He picks it apart. He quotes it in here, and he tells you what they're thinking and why it's really whack what they're doing. So I want to try to keep my video just really shorter than rambling. So I'm going to try to be jump right into it here. If I can find my internet button. Here we go. So this guy, a noted transhumanist, now targeting our children. What's inside Yuval Noah Harari's new book? Now this guy's wrote a lot of books on sapiens. He's a total Darwinist. Doesn't believe in God. But rather than me quote him, I want to his thoughts are quoted in this article, so let me just read you the highlighted part. And this was just in the Gateway Pundit 3 days ago. So go down to what I got. Harari was a keynote speaker at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland in both 2018 and 2020. His speeches and interviews on various media platforms are watched by millions. Harari is not shy about stating his beliefs. In a nutshell, in Harari's gospel, there is no God, no soul, and no free will. So this is what these people think of us. There is no intelligent design of humanity. There is no God. We just kind of popped up out of nowhere, you know. They can never quite explain that, can they? You know, the Big Bang Theory has failed now. That doesn't work. But science is leading for people that are actually critical thinkers to that indeed the universe is intelligent design, not random chance, and that, you know, there is a God. More than likely, I absolutely believe there's a God. But this is frightening that he says this. Harari is not shy about stating his beliefs. In a nutshell, in Harari's gospel, there is no God, no soul, and no free will. Once these pillars are accepted as truths by his followers, many of whom are in positions of power, the next step will be deciding the fate of billions of people who are no longer necessary in a future world that consists of artificial intelligence, biotechnology, and transhumanism. Okay? So their argument is, you know, like Elon Musk, who's a transhumanist, by the way, we're already cyborgs. You know, we don't go anywhere without this technology anymore. And so we you know, to his point, I mean, that is kind of true. Everybody is addicted to technology now. And I'm going to tell you, after reading this, I think maybe, we all need to really take a hard look at the Amish. So, this channel is about talking about issues that will affect our liberty, our individualism, right? Our God-given rights to be who we want to be and believe in what we want to be and live the lives we want to be. The globalist agenda will never allow any of that in their world. So let me continue with some of this highlighted parts. I'm quoting here. It's increasingly hard to tell where I end and where the computer begins. Harari, a professor of history at the Hebrew University in Jerusalem, told the audience at the Fast Company European Innovation Festival. In the future, it is likely that the smartphones will not be separated from you at all. It may be embedded in your body or brain, constantly scanning your biometric data and your emotions. Now, just a little sidebar here. Neuralink, I brought this up more than once now. Neuralink is ready to go. I mean, they're putting in for their FDA testing right now. You can go to Neuralink.com. You can look at this stuff for yourself. But if you look at what the future of neural engineering is, he says, and eventually to expand how we interact with each other and experience the world around us. The phone is going to be wired into your head. They're really proud about the Neuralink. I mean, it charges wirelessly, a wireless charger. It's put in your brain. It's going to be this inside your head. That's what's going to happen. And the problem is there's an air gap right now, right? If I don't want this technology by me, I just shut it off and get rid of it. It ain't going to be no. And you notice when they made these smartphones from the flip phone, you can't take the battery out, right? I mean, you really can't shut these things down. Like, even when they're off, they're on. And they're tracking you, and, it's just not good. And just real quick, I think I had a couple pictures of the Neuralink. So there it is. If you can see that picture there, in the fingers holding that little, it's about the size of a quarter, a flat quarter, I think, with the wires. And it will be put in your head. They've got a machine. They're really all geeked up about this, that they're going to plug us into technology. No, thank you, by the way. There's Elon Musk, this is his big thing, folks. It ain't Twitter. It ain't SpaceX. Those are toys for him. His big thing is this Neuralink. And Twitter will probably become part of this, of everything that he wants to do. So let me get back to this this bozo transhumanist. Where did I get him? Right here. Right here. I'm sorry. So it's increasingly hard to tell where I end and where the computer begins. Harari, a professor of history at Hebrew University in Jerusalem, told the audience at Fast Company Europe Innovation Festival. I just want to reread this. In the future, it is likely that a smartphone will not be separated from you at all. It may be embedded in your body or brain, constantly scanning your biometric data and your emotions. Down further, he says, when you have enough data, you don't need to send soldiers in order to control a country. If you know enough biology and have enough computer power and data, you can hack my body and my brain and my life, and you can understand me better than I understand myself. You know more about me than I know about myself, and you can do that not just to me, but to everyone. A system that understands us better than we understand ourselves can predict our feelings and decisions, can manipulate our feelings and decisions, and can ultimately make decisions for us. Isn't that nice? But soon, at least some corporations and governments will be able to systematically hack all of the people. Now listen, folks, this is one of these wacko transhumanist globalists, World Economic Forum, telling us what they're going to do. And when someone tells you what they're going to do, believe them. So, but soon at least some corporations and government will be able to systematically hack all the people. We humans should get used to the idea that we are no longer mysterious souls. We are now hackable animals. That's what we are. In the coming decades, AI, and unfortunately, folks, I don't think it's decades. It may be a decade. In the coming decades, AI and biotechnology will give us all. Now listen, they all think they're going to be God. In the coming decades, AI and biotechnology will give us God-like abilities to re-engineer life and to even create completely new life forms. After 4 billion years of organic life shaped by natural selection, that's us, the carbon-based life forms, we are about to enter a new era of inorganic life shaped by intelligent design. Not God, them. Our intelligent design is going to be the new driving force of the evolution of life. So it goes on. I think I will leave this article in the description if you want to read about it. But and just so you can see what's already going on, folks. Colorado utility company locks 22,000 thermostats in 90-degree weather due to energy emergency. And there's videos of people trying to turn their air conditioner up, and the thermostat's turning it the other way right in front of them. This is what they want to do. I mean, this is just a teeny tiny bit of what they want to do. And I think it showed the thermostat. Right there's one. Close-up of hand of man reviewing an artificial intelligence-driven energy usage report on a Nest Learning thermostat. So they want to micromanage. I mean, it's totally just such Big Brother stuff. It's so Orwellian. And part of the Build Back Better deal hidden in there was a new what's the word I'm looking for? Mandate for auto industry, auto manufacturers to install kill switches in all new cars. I think it has to be active by 2026, maybe a little longer. Maybe it's a little longer than that. According to an article written by former U.S. Representative Bob Barr, hidden away in the recently passed, it was in the infrastructure bill, the very one I warned before would negatively impact drivers across the country if it were to pass, is a measure to install vehicle kill switches into every new car, truck, and SUV sold in this country. So we just got to stop this, folks. We just got to fight back, and I'm going to tell you, please get yourself a copy of this and read it. If you want to help out Alex Jones, you can go to the InfoWars site and buy it right from there. I've got the Amazon link, but he brings up a good point in this book. They don't want to tell anybody what they're doing. I mean, they want to keep people in the dark. And at some point, they've got to tell people, hey, we're going to, they have, by 2030, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. But I don't think it's resonated. They want to take your freedom away. That's what they're selling. Trust us, we want to take your freedom away, but you'll be happy. That's not something you can sell to folks, okay? And Alex Jones brings up the point that we're on the side of good, and whatever they do to us to try to ensnare us or stop us or silence us, like he was one of the first ones, banned off all the platforms. We are smart. We figure out a workaround. All the banning on Twitter. What'd you end up with? Parler, Getter, Telegram, Signal, Truth Social, Rumble. And so we just don't put up with it. We just figure out the workaround. So he was talking about food processing plants, how he believes they're being targeted to starve us. Humanity, they want to starve us and destroy the economy so they can do the Great Reset. This is all by design. starve us of energy, food, everything, and have us come and crawl into government. It just ain't going to happen from this guy anyways. So this is Alex Jones' words here toward the end of the book. The globalists think they are winning, but if their ideas had been any good in the first place, they wouldn't have to conceal them. And they still have their dissident problem, which is only going to get worse. Yes, they may kick us off their platforms, but we'll build new ones. If they demonetize us, we'll figure out a way around that as well. Might they go so far to, whack some of us? It's not the word he used. They might. I don't discount that possibility, he says. But each person that, they got or eliminated would cost them precious capital, putting the lie to their claim of doing it for the public good. And despite all their, I don't think I can read that part on this platform, folks, to be honest. So Alex says, I understand these are scary times, but I'm not afraid. I believe, as St. Augustine did, that the truth is like a lion. You don't have to defend it. Let it loose. It will defend itself. So he goes, I have sought to set the truth free in this book, abundantly used the words of Klaus Schwab and his fellow globalists, which he does. The power is in your hands. And extremely well researched, okay? You are, look at, if there's any reason the globalists are doing what they're doing to Alex Jones, I mean, he's been a pox to the globalists forever, right, Alex Jones? But you understand now why they despise Alex Jones is because he knows who they are, that they're evil, they're soulless, they truly are, and what they're up to. And so the plan is exposed, and it's in this book. You do yourself a favor and get a copy. Just a couple. I came over because I finished this. I got to grab another book to read, and I happened to bring some books over from the house to bring up here to my library. Anybody that wants to get into writing, I would recommend. I'm not a Stephen King fan of him personally. He's a really not a, politically, he's as far opposite of me as anybody I've ever read or known, other than these globalists, I guess. But he wrote a book because his books sell, right? They made a lot of movies and stuff. So this is the only Stephen King book I've ever read. It's Stephen King on writing. It's a great book, and it's a story of his life. And I just don't understand why he's not a conservative Christian, capitalist thinker. I never understand these people because when you read his story, you think, why do you think what happened that you're so lost? And then this book I bought a year ago. I read Wives of the Signers. This is it was the women of the signers of the Declaration. This one is Lives of the Signer. So I'm taking that over. That's my next book to read. But let's educate as many people as we can, folks. Craig, you know who I'm talking to. If you come up here again, stop by and pick up this book. Craig, who's in our community here, he inhales books. I mean, I'm not a fast reader, and I've always been a little hyper, most of my life. Now I'm getting old. I'm losing my hyperness, but now I can sit down and read a book, and I've had to teach myself really to take time and do that, and I enjoy it now. I can do it, but for most of my life I couldn't. But Craig, man, I mean, this book, he'll like inhale it. He'll say, "Okay, here's your book back," because he reads all the time. Really a bookworm, and so that's it, folks. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you like this, if the content, if you're just tuning in here, you're a freedom-loving person. 3 things we do here, okay? Share news regarding tyranny in America and the world. A lot of it going on, right? Share some American history that I weave in. and also prepping, because I think in this world we're living in right now, everybody needs to be into preparedness and getting ready for what's coming, because I think we're heading into some really bad economic times and quite possibly World War III. Maybe nuclear world war. I mean, that's how bad I think it's going to get. I shouldn't laugh because it's really not funny. So we want people to be prepared for disaster, for a sustained disaster. You know, not a weekend storm or you know, a week without power. You know, long-term disaster plan. We want you to have that, and we'll share stuff on this channel to help you prepare. And then also sharing news that affects our rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, along with our founding history, which is wonderful. And on this day, in 1777, I was going to pull this up. Oh, come on. The United States celebrated its first National Day of Thanksgiving to commemorate the American victory at the Battle of Saratoga. So that was in 1777. And the quote of the day is, the liberties of our country, the freedom of our civil constitution, are worth defending against all hazards, and it is our duty to defend them against all attacks. And that is the father of the Revolutionary War, Samuel Adams, one of my heroes. Okay, that's it. I'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully there's some good news coming, but be curious to watch what happens with the market, because the news that's been coming in, economic news, that's another thing I'll try to keep you abreast of, is what's going on with the economy. And the PMI came in really bad. Manufacturing, the service industry, they're still going to raise rates, and we just want everybody to be prepared for hard times, because it's one thing to get blindsided and not be ready. It's another thing to be prepared and not be blindsided, to say, hey, you know what? I prepared for this. There was a good chance we were going to go into a terrible recession, if not a Great Depression and World War. And thank goodness that we paid stuff off. We stocked up, because now we're going to be able to survive this a lot better if we hadn't. Okay, that's it. I'm shutting up now. Bye.